They called it empowerment. They gave it hashtags, applause. You have even received titles. But what if the very thing that you were celebrated for was designed to keep you trapped? What if the thing that you were celebrated for was designed to keep you blind to your own spiritual authority and to your true essence and identity? What if that thing that you were celebrated for was designed to keep you ignorant of you, was designed to keep you ignorant of your own identity? That thing that I'm talking about, Black woman, is your ability to compete. See, we know how to compete. You know how to compete. But what happens when your ability to compete has turned into a burden and has turned into a cage? So we've already started to dive into today's episode. You know, if you have been here, you know I do not waste time with introductions. So let's get into it. Now, I just said, Black woman, you know how to compete. How do I know that? How do I know that Black women know how to compete? Because you're watching this as a Black woman, and you have walked away from your religion. You have walked away from your church, okay, because you know it is no longer serving you. You may not know what's on the other side of that, but you know that the construct of religion is no longer for you. Your soul has elevated you beyond that, okay? You left your church and you know how to compete because competition requires discipline. Now, even it was hard for me to admit this next thing that I'm going to say, but you have actually learned something from your religious experience. You have actually learned something from your religious experience. I have actually learned something from my religious experience. And what is that? It's discipline. Discipline. Yeah, I know you don't want to admit that, but yes, you learned discipline from religion. Why? Because it takes discipline to obey. To obey. It takes discipline to show up service after service, whether you went to church every Sunday or 5 days a week. Okay? It takes discipline to do that. It takes discipline to be exhausted, to be tired, but yet still give of yourself in every way, to give of your energy in every way, from your money to your physical activity, to your mental energy, to your emotional energy. To still do that, even though you yourself have really nothing else to give, for you to continue to show up to give of yourself in that way. Whether if you're like me, you are involved in everything in the church, from Sunday school to preparing lessons for your Sunday school session, from being a praise team leader to the rehearsals to learn praise songs, to teaching separate classes on Saturday morning. And that doesn't even include the regular church services. Okay? It takes discipline to show up, to still show up and do all of those things. And if you are still watching this at the 4:44 mark, then you know what I'm talking about. It takes discipline to do that. And now, I also mentioned it takes discipline to obey, because what does religion do? And I don't care what religion that we're talking about, but religion will give you a book and say, here, you need to obey everything in this. Nothing else. Don't read anything else. Don't ask any questions. All this in this book is what you need to live your life by and obey. It takes discipline to be given an assigned identity and to live out that assigned identity. That is also what religion does. Religion tells you how to obey, how to follow rules based off of that identity that you adopted. It takes discipline to do that. Now, this discipline you carried into society by competing. And yes, there is competition in the church. I'm going to talk about that in another episode. But this discipline that you learned to have, you carried it into society. You competed and probably still compete in some way in education. Because what are you told as a Black woman? You have to be 11 times better than your counterpart or your counterparts. So you compete. You get all these degrees. Nothing wrong with getting degrees. I'm just saying that is part of your competition. It takes discipline to do that. So you compete in society to prove yourself. You compete in business, not to even prove that you can run a successful business, but to prove that you are worthy to be in business for yourself rather than going out to work for someone else. Okay. So we can just start there. So you've competed in business to prove that you deserve to be in business for yourself. You compete in your career by applying discipline in those corporate spaces. And it takes discipline to deal with the microaggressions that are still very present in those corporate spaces. So you know how to compete. You see how that all ties in together? So what does that do? What has that done? It has created a consciousness in your nervous system. It's created consciousness in you where you have lived with an identity that you carry that says you have to endure something that is harmful to you mentally, emotionally, physically, definitely spiritually, financially. You live with that identity. You live with an identity that says, because I've competed and I've proven myself, I can't quit something that I know that I have outgrown. I can't quit something that I know that I don't want anymore, but I can't quit because I don't want to appear weak, which is where that strong Black woman identity has come in, which I talked about before on a previous episode. I dedicated an entire episode to that and how religion helped to frame that limiting label. But you tell yourself, you carry the identity that says, oh, I can't quit this thing that I know that I don't love, that I don't like, that I actually hate, that I actually want to stop because I don't want to appear like a quitter. Because I have to be competitive. I have to stay competitive to continue to prove who I am and that I'm worthy to take up space in this world. So with that identity, you remain in things. And when I say things, that applies to everything. It can apply to a job. It can apply to a business. It can apply to a career. It can apply to somewhere where you live. It can apply to the house that you live in, to the country that you live in, to the city that you live in. It does not matter. You fill in the blank. So again, with that identity that you carry, you will remain in things, that you don't like because you feel like you have to. Then that causes a domino effect in your emotions. You become emotionally restrained because now you are not being honest about how you feel about that thing. You're not being honest now about the thoughts that are coming up in your mind about that thing about that situation that is happening in your life that you really just want to stop and be free from. But because of your identity to compete, because you feel like you have to prove yourself and to prove your space in the world, to prove your validation, to prove your worth, you shut down your emotions. You pretend that those emotions, you pretend that you really can't stand the situation or the thing that is in your life that you actually want to be free from. So, how do you elevate your consciousness and reconnect with your true identity? The true identity that does not have to prove anything because your lineage, the ancient wisdom, the ancient ancestral spiritual technology that you carry in your blood has already validated you. Your blood validates you. What's in your blood validates you. How do you elevate your consciousness to reconnect with that? I'm going to give you some tips here, okay? Because this doesn't have to be difficult. It's not difficult. It's not. What I'm going to offer you, and these tips are things that I still do, They become a practice for me. First thing, and when I say first, second, third, that does not constitute the order of importance, all right? It's just the way that I listed them out. Look at yourself. Yeah. Look at you. When was the last time that you looked into your own eyes, that you looked into your own soul, that you looked at your own body? So I mean that in the most literal sense. Look at yourself. Recognize your beingness. Recognize your body. Recognize your energy. Feel into your own energy by feeling into your body. Second thing that you can do is look at your accomplishments and really ask yourself, how have those accomplishments benefited you? Do you still care about them? Are they exciting to you? Answer that truthfully. Don't give the answer that you think you should give. When you ask yourself that question, answer it with your body. Allow yourself to pay attention to how you feel when you examine what you've accomplished. And the reason why I'm saying answer it with your body is because the body tells all. And the reason why these first two tips that I'm giving you are focused on your body is because religious programming snatches that ability away from you. Okay, so third thing, here's the third tip. Look at your life right now in all of its beauty, in all of its glory, Look at the high points. Look at situations that have been disappointing. And ask yourself, what do I want to add? What or whom do I want to add to my life? On the other side of that, what do you want gone? Whom do you want gone? And that may sound harsh, but this is about being honest. These questions, this exercise is going to peel back all of those programmed layers. It's going to give you a harmonious view of what you have competed for. You're going to allow yourself to, first of all, celebrate you for those accomplishments, and then also saying, okay, well, did I really want those things? Do I really want what's happening now? Do I still feel a connection with the people that I have in my life? So that's why it's important to ask these questions. You're getting back to the truth of you. You're reconnecting with you, okay? So it's important to be honest with this exercise. You're not sharing this with anyone. This is between you, your soul, your ancestors, your spirit team, your spirit squad. Okay? You're not broadcasting this out to anyone. Let whatever comes up, come up. Let it come up. Let it be there. This is not a self-judgment exercise. This exercise will help you get to the core of you. It will get to the core of you, and then it will reveal your spiritual authority, your true identity, your power. But you have to peel back the layers of programming. You have to peel back the layers of programming when it comes to religious programming and programming otherwise, okay? So, yes, you know how to compete because of the discipline that you gained while in your religious experience. But now you have to see how that competition has limited you because of the identity that it has created within your nervous system, and that identity is not true for you. So now, to uncover the identity that is true for you, go through those questions, okay? Do that exercise. It's going to be very transformational to you. And so if you would like one-on-one help in that transformation, this is one of the things that I go into detail with when I help people one-on-one. You can work with me one-on-one two ways. You can go to my website, unleashedalchemy.com. There's a 24-session package that you can sign up for. All right, you'll get 24 sessions. Those sessions are video calls. They're okay because I have to see you, you have to see me. That's how I work. All right. And there's really not a set time on those sessions. Okay. Because your deconstruction of programming goes beyond you just leaving your religion. It goes beyond you just walking away from the church. It's you reconnecting with your identity as the original logos, as the original authority on this entire planet, as the original woman. Okay, ultimately, that is what you're getting to. That is what you're reconnecting with. And this is what I help Black women do. There's also another option where you can sign up for a one-time session, which is 55 minutes. That is also a video session, okay? So you can find that information for both of those options at unleashedalchemy.com. I also have ebooks and I have courses that are also transformational that will help you reconnect, rediscover, and re embrace who you are in all of your essence, in all of your authority, and in all of your power, so that you can reclaim your seat. It is time. All right. And so until next time, be sovereign.